Hello guys, this is the Cars Beckett here, and today I'll be telling you guys and doing like some tips and tricks on how to properly use the charged shotgun. Basically, if you haven't heard this gun at all, it came out in season 3 or this season, and basically this gun is really different from all the other shotguns that came out in like the previous seasons, because this gun does not shoot once you shoot the trigger or whatever button you use. It does not shoot as soon as you press your shoot button. But what it does is that once you like press the shoot button and like hold it, it charges. Once you let it go, it shoots. So basically, this gun is a shoot on release gun. And with that being said, this gun is a totally different gun from all the other guns in the game. Like, basically every single gun you've seen that came out like in the previous seasons, like any other gun you can imagine, is different from this one particular gun. And you're probably wondering, why should I use this gun if it shoots on release and doesn't shoot as soon as I press the button for it to shoot? And the thing you have to realize and adapt when using this gun is that you can't always play the way that you usually play Fortnite. Because if you haven't used this gun yet, basically once you start using it, you're gonna have a problem, which is where you think the gun has a delay. And no, it does not have a delay. You shoot on release. And even if you do that, sometimes it wouldn't shoot on release. Like, it will have a little like 0.0 seconds of a delay, and sometimes it just messes you up. But there is one solution to that, and a lot of people like to use this like method, and this method is basically double tapping the shoot button, whatever shoot button you use, double tapping it, in which means that the gun will shoot faster. Like, it will be shooting immediately. Like the other shotguns, like you shoot your heavy, you shoot your pump, you shoot your tac, it would shoot immediately if you double tap it. But personally, I don't use this method, or I used to use this method. Like I did it before. Like if you saw my like recent montages, like the mastering the charged shotgun, or like when I used to charge shotgun in the Ultra Instinct montage, or maybe if you saw my fearless montage, those montages have me like shooting the charged shotgun immediately, and I'm doing the double click button. They're like double click shoot button, and that's not a good idea, because the fact that once the whole mechanic of the gun is you shoot, you press and hold your shoot button, and it charges. And the more the charge, the longer the charge, the more the damage you deal the longer you charge it. And once you keep double tapping the gun every time when you're in like build fights and stuff like that, you're kind of forgetting the whole mechanic of the gun that you have to learn and adapt to. And sometimes you do not forget, but sometimes you eventually do, which means that once you try doing the charge mechanic and like pressing and holding it and doing the charge mechanic, you usually miss your shot. You either have an SMG beside your charged shotgun to switch to, or usually people do that with shotguns and SMGs. They always have those things together. Once you do that, sometimes you can miss your shot in two ways. You can either miss your shot, like let's say you're in a build battle and you shoot your charged shotgun, but you charge it, but you switch to your SMG too fast to the point where you don't shoot the charged shotgun doesn't shoot. Or you eventually just shoot it, but you just end up missing your shot, just generally missing your shot. Once I used to double tap the gun, I usually tend to eventually like not make the charged shotgun shoot, because I always switch to my SMG too quickly. And in order to prevent this from happening, You can't predict your shot. You can't predict when the charged shotgun is gonna shoot in order to switch to your SMG. You can't predict that. What you need to do is you have to wait until your charged shotgun shoots. Then you switch to your SMG. Here's another thing on how to use this gun properly. You cannot, and I say you cannot flick your shots. If you're used to flicking your shots, you cannot do it with this gun. Because since the charge mechanic is there and you can't shoot it immediately, you can't really flick that. You can't really flick the shot. Because usually when you use a pump and there's an opponent right next to you, usually you just flick and then shoot the pump as soon as you flick your mouse, or you flick your stick, or whatever you're using in order to flick your shot. You shoot as soon as you flick. So using that with the charge kind of just ruins the whole purpose of the flicking. Because once you flick, the charge shotgun is gonna shoot too late, and you're not gonna do damage to your opponent because the charge didn't shoot at didn't shoot when you wanted to shoot. And here's how to do that. You know how your ADS with your AR, and you track your opponent by moving whenever your opponent moves. When it jumps, you move it up a little bit and then down once it stops, once the opponent goes down, and you're just tracking your opponent. Basically, that's what you have to do with this gun. Once you're charging this shotgun, you need to make sure that you're tracking your opponent instead of flicking your opponent. So once you're tracking it, you can just keep, what I mean by tracking is you keep the reticle on the opponent, in which when you shoot the shotgun, it will deal some damage instead of flicking your shot and your shotgun just missing. And here's one thing: if you're used to W keying every single person in your lobby, you cannot do it with this gun, because this gun is not gonna have a fun time doing that with you, if you know what I mean by that. You can do it with the TAC easily, because the TAC is reliable, and well, not reliable anymore since it got really nerfed, but still reliable in the sense that you're able to do your edits and do your flicks and do anything you would like to do with the TAC when you can't do it with the charge. But you can still like edit like a window, or edit like something else, and then shoot your opponent once the opponent is revealed. Once you edit in the person's box, it's possible, but it's kind of like more challenging. And here's one more thing that you have to learn about the charged shotgun. You have to learn that this isn't any other shotgun that you have seen come out in the game. This is a different shotgun. This is a totally different shotgun. Because the thing about charging the gun is that once you're charging it and it gets fully charged, when it gets fully charged and you're still waiting for your opponent to show itself, you're just gonna be moving around really slowly and not being able to build, and not being able to, I think you can jump, but you're not gonna be able to do really anything. You're just gonna be standing there doing absolutely nothing, just waiting for your opponent to just show itself. And that's not a good thing to do, because you could just easily get killed. Wherever you are, you can get third party, or the person you're going up against can just find a way to kill you, do like a 300 IQ type of play, like a big brain type of play, and you wouldn't even notice it. So basically, do not fully charge it, and don't wait until the opponent shows itself. And also, don't double tap the gun, or don't tend to charge it and then switch your SMG and then it doesn't shoot. Don't make it be like that. And I know there's a lot of things to take in with this gun, and which you're probably thinking that why should I use this gun if there's a lot of things to learn about in order to use this gun? Why should I play this game at all if the attack is fully nerfed, like heavily nerfed, and the charge is just trash? Why should I be using these two shotguns? And my answer to that is go and practice to use this gun. Practice with this gun. But the thing is that you need to go on creative fill in order to use this gun, because that's the only option. You can't go in any other thing. The other options, you can go on pubs and just go and use the shotgun and do it that way, or maybe you can just go in arena against a bunch of sweats, whatever. If you have really high hype, or if you don't have low hype, if you have low hype, then that's gonna be better for you because you're gonna get easy kills. But if you don't want to use this gun at all, if you're just doubting me and you don't want to learn my tips and tricks, you don't want to learn how to use this gun, you just don't want to use it at all, you can either stick with attack and rely on your headshots and just be more precise with that gun, or you can just use SMGs and ARs and just spray. Anyways, that's all folks. See you in the next video, in which I'm going to be talking about which is the best Forza Horizon game. And leave a like, subscribe, comment, and you can also check in the description below, in which there's some links to my social medias. And anyways, that's it. Bye guys.